Hello everyone, welcome to the computer class. Today our topic is computer fundamentals. Fundamental means the basics. We will study the basics of computer. A computer can perform a variety of functions depending upon the instructions given to it. Means a computer first takes in raw data, for example facts and figures as input, then processes it, then according to the given instructions it gives us the desired result or output. So a computer performs basic three operations. First one, input. It takes raw data as input. Then second one is it processes that data. Then third one is it gives us the output or desired result as per the instructions given to it, as you can have a look at the image. Data and instructions are given to the computer through input devices. Input devices are those devices through which the input is given to the computer. So input devices include keyboard, mouse, scanner, magnetic ink character reader or MICR, optical mark reader or OMR, microphone, it could be a tablet pen, webcam and etc. So data received from input devices is first converted into a form that the computer can understand. As you already know, the computer cannot understand everything. It understands the only one language. It is called a binary language or machine language. This data is then processed in the central processing unit. It is processed in the CPU. After the data has been processed, the computer system generates the output or it displays the output on the monitor screen. So the output is displayed on output devices such as the monitor, printer, projector and plotter. It can also be stored on storage devices. So storage is the fourth operation performed by the computer system, as you can have a look at the image. Next is central processing unit. It is also called as CPU in short. The central processing unit or CPU or simply the processor. It is also called as processor. This is the brain of a computer. The CPU performs operations depending upon the instructions given to it. The CPU has three main components. The first one is arithmetic logic unit, which is also called as ALU. The second is control unit, which is also known as CU, and the memory or storage unit. Let's study them one by one in detail. The first one is arithmetic logic unit or ALU. The ALU does all types of arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, etc. Let's take an example of multiplying two numbers. First one, the numbers that you give as input are first sent to the memory of the CPU. From the memory, they are sent on to the ALU for multiplication or processing. The ALU performs the calculation and sends the result back to the memory. Next we have is control unit or CU. The CU is the most important part of the CPU because it plays a very important role. It manages and controls all the activities of all other units. The CU gets data and instructions from the memory. Then It tells the ALU or informs the ALU what operation to perform on that data. Means which data? The data that has been given as input. The CU also helps in communication between the memory and the ALU, as you can have a look in the image. After the execution of an instruction is completed, the CU sends a signal to the memory to send the next instruction. So it sends a signal to the memory for the next instruction. It also controls the flow of data from the input devices to memory and from the memory to output devices. It controls the flow of data. ये data के flow को control करता है from the input devices, जो भी data input devices से लिया जाता है, to the memory and then from the memory to the output devices. So control unit, ALU and memory work together for the processing of data. Next we have memory or storage unit, which temporarily stores data and instructions that are used for processing. Further we have input devices. As we all know, an input device is a hardware component that is used to enter data into the computer. The input device then converts the input received from the user. The input devices receives the input from the user, then converts it into the machine readable format. The most commonly used input devices are the keyboard and the mouse. Some other input devices are OMR, optical mark reader, or magnetic ink character reader, which is also called as MICR, barcode reader, scanner, touch screen, digital camera, web camera, and so on. The number one input device is keyboard. As you already know, this is the most basic and commonly used input device. It allows us to input letters, numbers, and other symbols into a computer. So a keyboard has different keys that can be used to perform different functions. Similarly, we have a mouse, which is another input device. It controls the movement of a pointer on the screen. It is also used to select various objects, that you can select so many objects on the screen. A mouse has a left button and a right button. You can give instructions to a computer simply by clicking the left button or right button. There is a scroll wheel between these two buttons. Next is optical mark reader. This is also an input device which reads pencil or pen marks on a specially designed sheet of paper. Such sheets are known as OMR sheets, and these sheets are used in objective type examination and application forms. Further is magnetic ink character reader or MICR. The MICR is commonly used in banks. ये banks में use किया जाता है. For what purpose? To read the special characters printed on the bottom of a check. चेक के bottom पे या चेक के सबसे नीचे जो special characters लिखे होते हैं, it can be used to read those characters. These characters are printed in magnetic ink. ये magnetic ink में जो है वो print किए जाते हैं. The MICR reads those characters and sends the information to the computer. So magnetic ink characters are difficult to duplicate. इनको duplicate या copy नहीं किया जाता है, and hence are used extensively in bank checks and drafts. Next is barcode reader. This is a very common device being used in shops and malls. A barcode is a group of vertical lines or bars, right? These bars contain information about the product on which it is printed. A barcode reader scans the barcode. ये barcode reader is specially designed to scan the barcode and sends the information in it to the computer. The computer then displays details of the product such as the name, price, etc. Next we have is digital camera. Almost everybody is having such kind of cameras at home. A digital camera captures and stores photographs on a memory card. जो डिजिटल कैमरा ये फोटोज़ एंड वीडियोज़ को स्टोर करता है एक मेमोरी कार्ड में, विच इज़ ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज रिमूवेबल चिप. द फोटोग्राफ्स कैन देन बी अपलोडेड ऑन अ कंप्यूटर, एज यू कैन हैव ए लुक ऑन द इमेज ऑफ digital camera. So we have done with the topic today. I hope all you understood the topic. If you did not understand anything, feel free to contact me. Thank you very much for the session. Would like to see you in the next class.